Nobody else is talking about this and I don't understand why. Here's your latest crypto news. Join me for a swim. Let's get into it. Now, oh my word, the last 24 hours. Who'd have thought it? Manipulation at its finest. Let's get into it a little bit later in today's video. But the global cryptocurrency market cap is up over 5% in the last 24 hours. Most notably, the volume has only increased in the last 24 hours, around 4%. So who's pushing these prices up? Let's break down Bitcoin, Ethereum, and by your request, Solana, and look at some of the on-chain analysis and data to see if it supports the price movements and where we're flying. Now, as you can see by Bitcoin, it's up over 6% in the last 24 hours, and its volume is up over 9%. Now, notably, when we look at the on-chain data, we see the following. When it comes to retail, we have seen a decrease in the amount of unique wallet addresses currently on the blockchain. Reminder, the blue lines above my head are the amount of unique wallet addresses. That's the people like me and you that are holding Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency that's stored on the blockchain. Yet the price of Bitcoin has increased. This suggests that institutions or previous larger holders are starting to increase their bags, which has therefore led in an increase in the price of Bitcoin. But when you look at the volume increases compared to the amount of unique wallet addresses, this suggests that institutions are currently pushing the price of Bitcoin back up. When we look at our ranges, we've been following these for a number of days, well, weeks and months if you've been following me for a long time. You can see that we've broken into the higher range. Now, the higher range was 62k plus, and this takes us well above 65k. Now, the question is the next 4 to 8 hour candles going to see us accelerate to test the upper of this range, or are we going to see ourselves testing the lower of it within the next day? Now, you know, it's very speculative. We can also make assumptions, but one thing that we cannot deny is historical data has definitely helped us make more informed decisions in the last days, weeks, and months. One of the things that nobody is talking about right now is this. Look above my head. Now, if a trader wants to increase the profitability and making a margin, they may want to focus on buying in October and November and April and May. Now, clearly we're bang in the middle of that, and this could lead to some of the market manipulation we are seeing. Now, historical data suggests that they're the best months to buy some of the top assets. Now, those top assets, of course, are Bitcoin and Ethereum. Talking about Ethereum, let's go and look at Ethereum and how it's performing. Now, Ethereum is up 4% in the last 24 hours, and its volume is down, surprisingly, 0.42%. For me, I'm not too concerned about the volume decrease because the price has moved like it has with the rest of the markets. For me, I am looking at Bitcoin to see Ethereum's next move, but let's look at our ranges as to see what could potentially happen. Now, Ethereum has broken into the higher range. Now, this could be an indicator if you're looking at Ethereum very closely as to where Bitcoin could go. Why? Because it's closer to its higher range, or this part here, this orange line above my head, which is the range of which historical data has shown us there's an area of resistance. Now, if the next 4 to 8 hours show us a negative sell pressure, we could also see Bitcoin follow and dip down and test the lower of the resistance of Bitcoin. So Ethereum actually could end up being the one that we end up watching very closely today. And finally, of course, we look at Solana. Solana is also up 4% in the last 24 hours, and its volume is down 0.3%. Let's look at our ranges. Let's see how it's performed. Now, Solana, like everything else, has broken out, and you can see it's on its way potentially to test the upper of the range. Now, the upper of that range is $162. Currently, you can see we're well priced, just above halfway up of that current traditional price range. What comes next? I think this is heavily manipulated. Let's see. There are not too many projects on the market right now that, in my opinion, will cause an increase in the price of Solana, but I may well be wrong. This data, although I may be wrong, 9 times out of 10 has proven to be correct. Historical data, it isn't always right, but it very often rhymes. When we look at the fear and greed index, you can see we are currently at 67, which suggests greed. Yesterday, we were in a neutral buying and selling pressure. This suggests that more retail potentially could come flooding into the markets in the next 24 hours. This is often seen, you know, you've seen the data, we've seen that it suggests that the wallet holders, unique wallet holders, have reduced significantly in the last 24 hours. When we see greed, we normally see retail flooding back in. Are the institutes going to start selling upon retail, or are we going to see Bitcoin challenging higher highs? Yesterday, we saw $2.5 billion worth of options expire, and some of the key points are that actually Bitcoin rallied above 6% up. US jobs data came out, and actually it surged the demand in the need potentially for things away from the US dollar, and people surged and looked at alternatives. The prices of gold, all actual physical assets, surged in their values across multiple markets, and especially cryptocurrency, even though it's not physical. Now that we have the ETF, is definitely deemed something of quality and substance for the future. Now today, with the ETF in mind, we are about to get our monthly data for the ETF last month. Expect a surprise, but don't fall into it. People that buy ETFs currently, well, actually, physically, are not holding and buying Bitcoin as openly as traditional people like myself and you. They're trading on the open market. So don't fall in love with this data. Don't fall in love with the hype or actually the FUD across it. That's enough from me. Time for a swim. Whew. Surely this has got to be the first ever update done live from a pool. If you liked it, drop me a like. Let's go.